Welcome into the Vitality Handbook. My name is Yao A. Owusu Jr., your resident Vitality Consultant. To my left, Nicholas, the Waves, Terminator, Lopez Jr. And we got Andre Bibbins, the Beard. You heard it first. There we go, Alien. Junior, we are the Vitality Handbook. You know what time it is. Third season. It's a conversation. Come on now. We're talking about nutrition. You are what you eat.
Eat what you are.
And you eat what you are. Thank you. Listen. If you eat cheap, if you like that quick, fast food, then you're going to be fast. If you like that quick and easy food, then you're going to be quick and easy. That's what they said. I didn't say it. Don't come after me. I didn't say it.
Interesting that it's called fast food, but it takes the longest to digest.
It's facts. I mean, if we're going to dive right in, how was your digestion? Right? If we're talking about nutrition, it's not just what you put in your mouth. It's how does those nutrients permeate into your body? How do you metabolize that? How do you absorb it? How do you digest it? So, talking about digestion, fast food stays in your system for a long time that cause a lot of havoc. You want things to fall through, push through, get the energy, and pass through. You don't want things to fester and stay. So we're talking about digestion. One of the biggest misconceptions about digestion is that if you eat something that you actually digest it. Everything that you consume doesn't mean you've digested it, right? You look in the toilet seat and you're like, man, oh, I ate this or I ate this. You shouldn't see that. You shouldn't be able to tell, right? So when it comes to nutrition, we know eat right for your body type. Making sure that it's personalized for you. Your nutrition should not be a diet that you follow for somebody else. It should be something that's personal to you. And when we're talking about nutrition, it's very personal. People don't want to change. People don't want to adapt because they've been stuck in that same system for a long time. My mom made this, or my grandma made this, my wife makes this, my sister makes this. It reminds me of my dad. It reminds me of those. It can get so emotional. If you look back a couple episodes when we talked about emotional intelligence and mindset, nutrition, we're going to sing the same old song. It's going to be the same thing. They're interdependent. That means they all depend on each other to work in synergy, all 5 pillars. All right, so nutrition. We don't have to go to the realm of digestion. I just said digestion, but talk to the people, right? We're for the people, about nutrition and why it's important to you. Personal experience first, why it's important to you. As Nicholas Lopez Jr., you could be a coach, you could be a brother, you could be an uncle, whatever. But to you, why is nutrition important to you?
Simply, it just makes me feel good.
Okay.
But I definitely want to address that first part on digestion because I think that was a good theme.
Mm-hmm.
And what that made me think of is obviously the simplest way to tell how well your digestion is working is based on stool quality. So much so that I believe in the previous 2 years, gut microbiome assessments were becoming popular to kind of look into your digestive system, quote unquote, and determine whether you have a lot of good bacteria or a lot of bad bacteria.
Facts.
And some of those things, without getting too much into it, you hear about probiotics and prebiotics and from a zoomed out view, your gut health can affect your digestion. It can affect some other things, but since we're in digestion, it's a good point that was brought up because number one, the simplest way to tell is your stool quality. So if you are having trouble,
that's your poop.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're having trouble going to the bathroom,
Doo-doo.
Number two.
Number two.
If you're having trouble going to the bathroom, that's a clear sign as far as like something is off. And another thing that came up to mind when we talk about digestion and what you said was just because you eat something doesn't mean you necessarily digest it.
Mm-hmm.
That brings up the concept of like absorbability.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking in my mind, because this is where my mind and heart has been recently, but this push for supplementation or drugs on trying to fix some of these ailments,
Okay.
how much, assuming that there's some other, based on statistics, there's some other health ailments that are very common in minority populations, for example, type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
Okay, that's one ailment that affects the insulin resistance, insulin sensitivity pathways, and
Correct.
everything associated with that.
Somebody's been studying.
But with those ailments, what I'm trying to say is if there's these common ailments, that was just one example.
Right.
And some people are claiming for supplementation or these quick fixes for those people, or they're targeting those people, because we know that marketing, that's been a
Right.
common theme, the marketing team.
Right.
These people target certain people.
Right.
What came to mind was like, I bet you if you run an experiment on someone who comes from a better environment, non-food desert, and someone in those populations who are making up those statistics, they're probably not even absorbing the supplementation needed.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
And so that's a function of digestion.
Oh
is
yeah, 100%.
You can be, that's just like, okay, wow, you're even, and so what does that mean? That's a whole different, what does it mean? So I guess I'll ask both of you, from your perspective, what does it mean if, sorry.
No, I like it.
Okay, what does it mean if someone is not absorbing what they're given, especially when what they're given is claimed to fix them or give them a certain benefit? And then if you can remember this part, how does the imbalances, how do the imbalances that may be presented in your answer contribute to the widening generational health gap or the health gap?
Oh yeah. I think those go hand in hand. Attack the first one. When people are not digesting things. So we think of your metabolism. Someone says, oh, I want to speed up my metabolism. I'm going to get my metabolism faster. Your metabolism is everything. How you absorb and how you transfer and how you excrete energy, right? So you can take in the sunlight. Your eyes are digesting the sunlight. You can put something on your skin. Your skin is absorbing that material and digesting it. And that makes up your metabolism. So your metabolisms are all reactions and functions of your body, period. That's your metabolism. Then within that metabolism, you have digestion and absorption. So you have to digest it first. You can digest things in your mouth, like carbs in your mouth. You can digest other things that are in your intestines. Then once you are in your stomach, and then once you actually absorb it, it's in your small intestines. And that absorption helps your metabolism continue. Digest the material, absorb it into your bloodstream, into wherever it's supposed to go, and then disperse that energy. So when people cannot absorb it, you're not even getting to digestion, right? You have to absorb it first, right, for the whole cycle to continue. Do you see what I'm saying? So digestion is like breaking things down. But if you don't break things down, there's no way you can absorb it, right? So you have to break things down. So if you think about digestion, it will be like, for lack of more scientific terms, you're breaking things down, right? You're breaking things down. You eat a burger that has bread. You have to break down the carbohydrates. So you're digesting the carbohydrates in the bread. You have to break down the meat, right? You have to break that down. You're digesting that. And then you absorb it into whatever place you need the energy, into your blood cells, into your plasma, into your water, for water, and into synovial joints, wherever you need to absorb it. And whatever you don't absorb, right, then you excrete it out or it stays in your body. And if things aren't digested properly, they stay in your body and it takes a long time. Like Dre said, the fast food digest, and then you eat again and it's still there. And you eat again and it's still there. And eat again. So you never really digest this food. You can have some meats or some fast food things digested in your body for a month, for 1 month. Now, if someone, for your second question, if someone is in this food desert, right, they're not getting the right amount of nutrients, period, even if they could absorb it properly. They're not getting the right amount of nutrients to make their system functioning enough to absorb the supplementation or to absorb the food. Even if it's McDonald's, we can all eat McDonald's and we can get what we need out of the McDonald's and then excrete it out. We'll have bubble guts, we'll probably be farting and pooping, but we'll get some nutrients out of it because our bodies are fully functional bodies when it comes to digestion, absorption, and metabolism. So the people in the food deserts, one, they don't have the good nutrients to put into the body so they can have a good system. Let's say they do have a good system through genetics, right? Then they are not getting the proper nutrients to be digestible, right? If you eat Flamin' Hot Cheetos, even I can't digest that, right? Because it's not food, right? If you eat, I don't know, gummy worms and all these candies and stuff, even I'm not digesting it properly because it's not food, right? So we have two things going on here. We have the people that are in social economic disparity or food deserts, and they can't get access to the nutrients so they can make a beautiful body. And then when they come in, take the supplement because you have this ailment, take this pill, you can't even absorb that properly because your body can't digest it. It can't break it down because your body's not fully functional. So it's a cycle. If you want to break that cycle, to answer the last question, to have generational health, you have to start with the things that you can control the most. Are you drinking water? Water is how you transfer information of what I ate in my mitochondria so you can have energy so you can work your cells. And that's the working part of the cells. If you're not feeding your mitochondria, you need water to have plasma to be able to go into your cells and give that information, the food that you ate, to your cells. And it says go. So you can have go muscles like him. Do you see what I'm saying? So if we don't know that about our nutrition, it's going to be very, 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 very difficult. And it starts with here. It's the mindset to make generational health better through nutrition of saying, hey, let's just drink water. Let's have clean water. Everyone's going to agree this is how much water you need to drink. So even the bad stuff you're getting, at least we can flush our system of the bad stuff, right? And that's number one, is going to be water. All right, so I'll stop talking. I'm going to talk for a long time. But if we're talking about digestion, metabolism, you have to have water. So I would say if you're going to start generational health, the first thing, I would say, period, bump the food deserts. Do they have clean water so they can get the information, which is the food, into their body and into the right spots?
First, tea is not hydration. It's not H2O. Coffee is not hydration. It's not H2O. BCAAs, whatever they listed up on this chart about that can be your hydration. Okay, this is what you need. Don't worry about it. I'm editing out. This is what you need right here.
Exactly.
You need water.
Yes.
Water.
Yes.
This is H2O. Okay?
What we're made of.
Right. Let's just get that out the way. Even the so-called smart people still don't know that. Yeah. So for you smart people, tell it whatever definition you want to put on it. Tea, coffee, all those list of things that say is hydration. It's not hydration. Yeah. That's why you're walking around lethargic. That's why you can't pick up the weight that you really want to pick up. That's why you can't function at a higher level, because you need water.
Facts.
Okay. Number two, with the supplements, I'm gonna clean it up. So they're not giving out natural supplements. They're giving out pills. They're not supplements, right? And then a lot of people, they get supplements and they don't know how to actually take the supplements and how to time the supplements. That's the thing. And then they're mixing, these digestive supplements. We're talking about they're mixing these things with stuff that it doesn't coexist.
100%.
You know what I mean? So there's a plan to
I love that word.
When to and how to take it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? To help your body break down whatever food you're eating, right? So that's number two. Number three, what was the other? I want to just break that
generational
down. Go ahead. Yeah.
How does a lack of understanding of digestion or absorbability, or maybe the environment not promoting the opportunity to absorb as best as possible, like lack of access to clean water, how does that, in your perspective, potentially widen the health gap?
Okay, so I would say it has, like you said, it is a money thing in a sense. And people just don't listen. You could tell them the same thing over, you could be right there. People just don't listen. You're telling them, this is how you take it, this is when to take it with this amount of ounces of water, right? You gave it right there. They take it with 2 ounces of water. And then they take it without food. When you tell them no, it clearly you have to, and then sometimes people are different, but follow the general, I would say, information about how to take these things, right? So if you tell them, you'll see them pop it with mix, a digestive enzyme or whatever else with a fish oil. It doesn't coexist. You know what I'm saying? You got to split it up, split it in between. So I would say, you'll give someone the information and the instructions, and they'll still do the opposite of what you said. It clearly says, and if you're taking supplements, what do you need for the supplements to actually work?
Water, insuo, agua, H2O. I don't know.
Right. So whatever you can't absorb, or whatever your body, let's say if you got a certain milligrams of it, right, and your body only could take 500, half a thousand, you only could take half of it. You need to take the water to flush out whatever the body doesn't accept, right? So you either number 1 it out or number 2 it out, right? So I would say that, and people are just not following the information, right? Number 3 is this channel. Just watch the channel. Just hopefully y'all keep this on repeat. You repeat me, what I say, y'all say, Nick says with the questions or the answers from that. That's basically it. We just keep on just giving out the information and coming up with the topics and just speaking on the topic. So anything else?
I like that. So going off of the haves and have-nots, right? People that are privileged or not privileged. When he says people are not taking the information, we're giving the information. I think there's so much misinformation out there, they don't know what's real, what's fake, or who to follow.
Especially
misinformation. People that know what misinformation. Are we giving you misinformation? Are we giving you misinformation?
Oh no, we're not.
No, I'm saying just.
I was going to go there. I was going to say because you can look at all the studies, you can look at all this and that. This person talks and this person is an expert, and all these things. At the end of the day, this is about human biology, and we know what human biology at its optimal prime is. We see it through the history of mankind, modern mankind. Is the person that you're following, the person that you're getting this information, it's 2 things. Either they're giving you the right information and they're not doing it themselves, so I can see, you can tell. Or they don't have the right information, that's why what they're doing and preaching to you isn't working. At the end of the day, we need to stop all this stuff.
Or the third is they're taking drugs and they're telling you that they're only eating eggs.
Absolutely.
And
now,
they got the egg sponsorship.
I agree with that now, but even the people that are taking drugs, at least they're putting in work.
They are.
Now, I come from the Los Angeles aspect, Hollywood, or what do you want to say, bodybuilding, okay. There's a lot of doping going on there. There's a lot of steroids, but they were putting in that work. So at the least, if you're going to follow someone on a plan to put on muscle mass, make sure that person has muscle mass. If you're going to follow someone and say, man, I want to get lean, but the person that you're following or the person that you're getting this information from has a body fat, a BMI of over 30, right? You make sure that person is lean. If you're going after someone and like, oh, this person's an expert in movement and they can get me out of this injury and all this other stuff, and if that person's always injured or completely distorted, they cannot fix themselves, always look for the leaders that lead by example, meaning they're doing it. Coaching, leading by example, doing it. I can see he's doing it. Whether he's taking steroids or not, I know for a fact he's not. I can see he's doing it. Whether he's taking steroids or not, I know for a fact he's not. In my skinny butt, I just got my muscle, so I wasn't taking anything. Okay? But we look fantastic. Not to say we're gloating, it's just that we're the top 1%. And if you're not following someone that's in the top 1%, if you're not following someone that's not in the top 1%, why are you going to listen to them when they're going to tell you to look like someone that's in the top 1%? Someone in the top 1% is not injured all the time, can perform at a high level. Dre, we're going to do this lift, we're going to go out here and look. And I don't care what nobody says. Everyone runs away from nutrition and aesthetics. It plays hand in hand. It plays hand in hand. You can't have great nutrition for your body and look like impossible. Now, you can look great and take steroids and drugs and all this stuff, but you still did hard work. But you're not going to tell me, man, my nutrition, what's wrong with your nutrition? No, my nutrition is perfect. I don't need to change nothing. Well, let me see. Let me see your habits, sir. I know that sounds superficial. I want to see how your gut health is. Let me see your legs and glutes. I want to see how much muscle development you're getting from the nutrients that you're eating. Period. That's all I got to say. That's my gem for today. I'm done, but I had to go off, and I might be more like this to come. We need to stop this dumb stuff. Don't follow people that telling you that you can look like this, and they look like. That's not how it goes, man. I'm done with this stuff, where people are getting away with selling all these things and doing all these things, and they're not putting in the work. You got to put in that work. You got to put in that work. Or you don't know what to do, then they're not an expert. So look at the person first. I'm looking. I'm seeing how they look. Period. I'm judging. I'm judging how they look. Because we're sitting at a table as experts. We are supposed to judge for you. You watch us so we can tell you what information is misinformation and the correct information. All right, Nick. I'm done.
That was dope. That inspired this thought. I saw a quote recently. Everybody follows the science, but the science follows the money.
Oh, God.
That's true. That's true.
What I was trying to understand is like, okay, why do I see people who like talking about how to build muscle with no muscle?
Word.
But actually, then I thought about, okay, how do they position themselves? Because that's good positioning, right? Like we said last time, it's a marketing team. Okay, so they built a better marketing team, marketing processes, blah blah blah.
They're not scared to lie.
Another word for that. That's dope. But another word for that is, I was thinking about, okay, how they were actually breaking it down. I believe that they're reframing the problem. I think they take someone who comes in with, I want to build muscle, and they say, wait a minute, you are not able to build muscle right now. You have to focus on something else, like changing from eating meat to eating plants or something like that. I feel like they reframe the original want. That's what marketing does. You bring people in who have awareness or curiosity, and if your system works, you capture them based on your ideology. So that's why we can have somebody who has no muscular definition by the standards that the person is most likely talking about. I feel like they're reframing and say, okay, you know what, don't actually focus about that. I'm going to tell you how to build muscle, but in a different way. I'm going to tell you how to build muscle by eating plants. Because the scientific study said that if 20 people eat plants 5 times a day, that it increased their protein synthesis by 1%. And protein synthesis means that you can build more muscle. So follow this, because that means you're going to improve your potential to build muscle, but not actually build muscle, which I feel like the summary of everything I just said is the way science and these people who are in these positions that doesn't add up. I believe their marketing strategy or their communication strategy is, in some cases, the science or their methodologies may prepare them or potentiate them, like you said, what formalin does. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say another idea after this, but just improves their potential to build muscle. Not actually, and so they focus in on that. The scientific study said that this is gonna improve your potential to build muscle, but it's not actually gonna build muscle. You know you need to have, from a nutrition perspective, you need to, number one, you have to stimulate the muscle. Okay, you have to stimulate the muscle to a certain level of stress I have a very zoomed out understanding of this, but to stimulate the protein synthesis mechanisms, and I think something's called mTOR, and all these pathways that people talk about, you have to first take on the training stress to bring those out. And then that post-workout protein that you just did 100 studies on, of 5 minutes post-workout, 10 minutes post-workout, 15 minutes post-workout, 30 minutes post-workout, hour, all that goes out the window if you didn't put that training stress in the beginning. So I feel like, in reference to Yao talking about potentiating, a foam rolling in one of our episodes, if you foam roll your tricep, you're not actually creating any changes. You're getting it, you're potentiating it for it to, when you go stretch it, or when you go to impose the changes that you're trying to create on the tricep, it has a higher propensity to accept that information and stimulus. So in summary, a lot of these people that we see that don't actually fit the model, fit that role, talking about muscle, have no muscle, they're basically foam rollers.
Man, listen, I'm telling you right now, they not about that life, man.
That's true.
They're not about that life. If your nutrition is on point, go ahead, Dre.
Why do y'all know people? I know a lot of people that eat plants and they stay bloated. It's very interesting to me.
They don't know. Okay, God darn it.
that's
If we're gonna go
fiber.
there, if we're gonna go there, if we're gonna go there, we got to go there though, Dre. You gotta.
It's actually fiber.
You gotta. Fiber clots. What does fiber do? It clots and it clots.
So listen.
But the scientists said that plant-based is going to help you build muscle.
Listen.
I know a lot of plant-based people that's overweight.
Listen, eat right for your body type is all about eating for you. If your body type, right, the way that you arrange yourself, the way your composition is, your awareness, the discipline you're going to have, if it says you need to eat meat or you need to eat this or this, then that's what it does. If that's what the solution is, that's what it does, right? If you need to eat fish, that's what it does. So you need to assess yourself to see what you need to eat. So anybody has the hubris just to be like, all you have to eat is plants. And everybody knows me, I'm a plant guy. I love plants, right? But if someone just says, all you have to do is do that, well, come on now, we know that's not all you have to do. You need to have other nutrients. It all depends on what you're trying to do and who's trying to do it. If you're an ectomorph, someone that's skinny through and through, super skinny, very hard for you to hypertrophy muscle, you're going to need a certain type of diet that another body type, someone that's bigger, more to love, we love those people, are not going to comply. I'm going to need a lot of starchy carbohydrates. I'm going to need a lot of carbohydrates. I'm not going to need that much protein because I need to build. And that's where we go wrong with supplements. You're just giving people, for the general public, you need to assess yourself to see which one of those general public supplements you need to take in, right? Everybody's not supposed to be a vegan. Everyone's not supposed to be in a Mediterranean diet. Everyone's not supposed to be in the all-meat diet, right?
The reason why people are not getting results from those diets, a lot of people they're cheating on those diets. So, I'm going to be vegan, right? They're eating vegan, and then what are they doing? Eating a bunch of vegan cake, a bunch of vegan ice cream, a bunch of vegan this, vegan junk, right? I'm going to go keto, right? Or whatever. They're not telling you what they're eating outside of that diet. And that's the issue. So, go ahead.
Facts.
What you were saying on appropriateness, on basically a diet, and this could be a gem for me, and I want to go into this. A diet could either be, your relationship with your food could either be symbiotic or parasitic.
Explain.
It could be a toxic relationship or it could be a functional relationship.
Okay. Symbiotic, functional, toxic, parasitic.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, your relationship with your diet can take away from yourself or it can add to you. It can take away from you or add to you. And on this platform, we're making sure that you understand that things have to add to you, and just because it adds to somebody else, that may not work for you. That may actually take away from you. And you said something on, let's play devil's advocate, on you not being able to be 100% plant-based. Mm-hmm. If someone said, well, fuck it, I still want to be 100% plant-based, mm-hmm. then okay, what comes with that? That means that based on your genetics and based on what you're trying to do, so there's going to be a ceiling to what you can actually accomplish. And if you're eating, if your relationship with food, or you're eating a particular diet that's not for you, that ceiling, you may be, so you can, for example, play devil's advocate and rebuttal against Yao saying, you need more than just plants. You can say, you know what? Okay, I want to just try it. Okay, you may or may not, based on your genetics and based on what you're trying to become, you may be lowering your ceiling of actually achieving that. What I mean by that is, say someone's like, you know what, I want to try. This is common. This is actually
Say
rare.
that because you said lowering your
Ceiling, your potential.
ceiling for what potential
for your genetic potential.
Gotcha. Yes.
Or for your opportunity to achieve what you're trying to actually accomplish.
I sorry to cut you off, Keith. I know you have good memory, but Timothy Bradley, the fighter, right? He went vegan, looked great, shredded, cut up. He lost his power.
So his power ceiling.
Yes, so that's exactly his ceiling for where he could have been at. And then he was on the vegan diet, and then he was trying to regain the power by bringing in a coach and sit on the punches and do it. But because on that vegan diet, and what did he do a couple years later? He got off the vegan diet. I feel stronger. I feel like I have more power, et cetera, et cetera. But he, I'm not going to go, but I wanted to say that ceiling.
Yeah.
He didn't reach that ceiling that he could have reached because the misinformation of saying, obviously he felt probably more energetic, more stamina, more, I would say more energetic than anything. Just felt more lively. You feel good when you go kind of going,
plants,
get plants, right? You feel energetic, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be stronger, faster, hit harder, or move better, rotate better, right? Have better footwork. That doesn't mean any of that, but that's fun. I just wanted to
100%.
Yeah.
And if there are cases where that does happen for whatever reason,
I haven't seen it yet, but go ahead.
then that may be hold on. Then that may be 10 people out of the 6 billion people on Earth.
Right.
Okay? So you want to take those chances? I mean, that's fine if you want to take those chances. You just will be a terrible gambler, right? You don't know how to adjust probability. I took probability like in 3rd grade or something like that. But what I want to say is, for example, let's use something that's real. The 2,000 calorie daily suggestions, okay? That's a clear example
Where did that come from?
That's a clear example of how a diet structure or relationship with food was imposed to society, right? Where, if you adhere to that, for example, if a coach is telling you, you just told me you want to build muscle and perform, and you're trying to train for a marathon, or you're trying to train for a fight, okay, so the coach received information. And let's go, okay, so now you're going to have to eat this, this, and that. Okay, and those habits accumulate to, let's just say, right, if they are counting calories, and then we can continue with that, and they do the math, and like, okay, but that's going to put me at 3,600 calories. I can't do that. Okay, so that means that marathon you want to run, go ahead, but you probably are going to break your bones, get a tear, piss on yourself, take a shit on yourself. You can do it because our body's going to survive.
Right.
But again, you've lowered your ceiling of how well you can be able to do that. So that's an example of like, okay, the 2,000 calorie diet, that's something people follow and be like, you know what, I want to be plant-based, or I want to be this, but I have to make sure I stay 2,000. I have to stay at 2,000 no matter what. Okay. I'm going to say, okay, but your ceiling for how much muscle you can build, how much times you can train, how active you can be in your social relationships, in your intimate relationships, in your professional relationships. All those relationships you have may be, and your ability to fully express yourself in them may be lowered. So, okay, fine. Keep your mental models as they are. You don't want to change your mind on something that's been generally recommended, like 2,000 calories a day. Okay. For now, okay, just my responsibility to tell you, okay, your ceilings for building muscle has decreased. You said you want to train 6 times a week. Please sign this waiver because I do not want to take. My job is not to be a babysitter. I don't want to be chasing that after you week by week. Oh, my knee, my muscles just seems like I'm sore every single day. I don't know why I can't recover.
You're not feeding. You're not feeding.
I can't recover. What's going on?
You're not feeding.
Do I want to be a babysitter?
So let's go off of this. We talked about body composition, going to vegan from a more balanced nutrition that he was doing. It wasn't just meat, he had vegetables and stuff like that. and him decreasing his power, speed, agility. And we're talking about, Lil Wayne said no ceilings. Don't you? I'm going with him, no ceilings. Mm-hmm. Do you want to start off with ceilings? That doesn't make sense. So you know that Coach Nick has spit the facts. Google it, right? Your ceiling will drop. Your ceiling performance, your ceiling for whatever will drop. Why would you want to start off in a deficit, right? So you have to really adhere to the information we're saying, and it's just, well, I guess sense isn't that common, right? I would say common sense. Yeah. But you have to really think about it. And gosh darn it, we got to really, we got to really think about what we're talking about. I'm going to follow somebody like him. I'm going to follow somebody because they've been putting in that work. It don't matter what you eat, man, if you don't work. Okay, you can have the best diet that was made specifically for you, but you're not doing nothing. You're not sleeping. You're not stretching. You're not lifting. No weight to stimulate any change or growth. What do you want? You want to decrease? You want to grow. Even if you're getting leaner, if you're overweight and you're getting leaner, you're growing muscle. Everyone has to grow muscle. Okay? Okay? You just be a sack of skin sagging everywhere. Yep. If you're overweight, okay, this is my gym, if you're overweight and you want to be the best you can be, you need to make sure you do it in stages of getting strong first so you can last to do all that cardio work. You need to make sure you're eating a nutritional plan or program that's specifically for you and your body type to get to a certain goal. If your goal is boxing and you go from a balanced diet to more of a vegan diet, something's going to go wrong.
Maybe.
The probability.
Yes.
So I don't go on the possibilities.
The probability of the performance.
The probability, let's talk about statistics like he said, third grade, is going to greatly diminish. Yeah. All right? We can go smarty pants on you if you want. But we want to talk about what's going to set you up for the highest probability for success. And that's what we're doing here at the Untitled Handbook.
This is going to be actually a funny episode because I'm curious to see what, hopefully, a few people see this because there's another vegan boxer out there, and
nothing against veganism Nothing against veganism now.
Nothing against.
Nothing against. I said this. Nothing against now.
No. We know this is nothing. This is a
conversation. Who you are, and what you want to get to.
Yeah. I'm just curious to see when, you step up in levels and see how that vegan diet performs against that level of that guy that's doing what we're talking about. You know what I'm talking about? So I just want to see how that matches up. The high level vegan fighter versus the high level guy that eating the balanced nutrition. I diet balanced nutrition.
So that vegan diet, he can't stay on top for that.
No, I know. I'm not saying he can't stay on top. I just want to see. I want to see if they have to change something when they go up against the two. He's great. He's awesome. But I'm curious to see how that plays out.
Yeah. I mean, plants don't. I don't really promote diets in period. At all. Yeah, but plants play a huge role in everything. Even if you have a little bit of vegetables, just a little bit, or fruit. Yeah. Right? Remember, plants are fruit too. So if you want to go fruits and I might eat veggies, no problem. You're still eating plants. That's going to come with a different type of glycemic load or sugar index or more water.
We're not saying don't neglect plants.
Right? But we're not saying. But you have to eat plants. But what we're saying is,
cancel them.
If you're strictly going to be one thing, one way, and you're saying everybody that's totally different from different backgrounds have to be that one thing, the probability of all these other people, they're not going to get their goals. Maybe the one or two or three people that it was specifically made for them. So when you're talking about vegan diet, that is a diet. No diets. It should be a lifestyle change through nutrition that was made specifically for you to get to a desired outcome. And that is your body that you want to see in the future.
Yeah, my closing statement is we're promoting just having a healthy, symbiotic, productive relationship with nutrition, and don't have a toxic relationship with nutrition.
100%. Dre, give it to the people. What's your gem?
If you go on let's just cut out the diet. If you adopt a nutrition formula, whether it be vegan, keto, what's the other one?
Atkins diet.
Atkins diet, all that stuff.
Carnivore.
Just stick to it. Stop going back and forth. You know, don't be a vegan for a week and say it didn't work. Don't be on a keto diet for this time and say it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Don't eat right for your body type for a week and say it didn't work. You know what I mean? Don't be on an Atkins diet and just say it didn't work. It takes time. See, over the course of, I mean, if we being real, 16 weeks, if we looking for real true change, and that's in the gym and all those things like that, try 16 weeks of that diet, see what happens. And don't blame the nutritional program. Let's blame all the other stuff that you're leaving out, that you're eating on the side, the terrible stuff. So that's just what I want to say. So if you go on a nutritional plan and you say it's not working, look at the other stuff that you're hiding. Leave it at that.
I'm gonna just piggyback off of what he said because it's so hilarious. What you eat in private, you wear in public. You can't hide, man. You can't hide. you can't hide. So if they're following, oh, I'm on the vegan diet. I can tell. Oh, I'm on this diet. Oh, I can't tell, right? So it's like it's working is if your body changes to what you want it to change to, right? So if you're not doing all those other things or you're leaving things out, come on, man. We gonna see. We gonna see.
And when it comes to like training wise, we're talking about exercise plus the nutrition. You know, you have to make adjustments in your plan, in your program. So that means some days you might have to eat a little bit less. Some days you might have to eat a little bit more. Right. Just know when to, you know. So I just wanted to leave that out on that. You know what I mean? Facts.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining in. Like, share, subscribe. That bell. Ding, ding, ding. We are the Vitality Handbook. Let's get into it. Dre said.